Hello, this is Todd Lee and
Neil Phil.
better known as Neil,
Neil.
reporting live for lunch therapy from San Pedro Belize just before sunset. And we are sitting on the rooftop. We're standing. We're standing.
I don't know. Let's try again.
Okay.
Don't
We are
use my
standing
last
on the
name.
rooftop.
Right, delete that.
Back to you, Joel.
All right, we're here. It's lunch therapy. So glad to see everybody. So a lot of the hummingbirds are in Belize, and we're going to be getting reports from them down there. I even saw an actual hummingbird in Belize. Today, Interview Friday, and I'm so glad to see that the insomniac Jeff Lohman is here, all the way from Thailand. Kamala says, did you know the hummingbirds fly back into the fire to tell the other animals where the water supply is? I think that's like a legend, like an African legend about hummingbirds, and that's pretty interesting stuff. Today, we have Scott Krinsky on. Scott Krinsky is an actor and a comedian, and a lot of you know him from Chuck, the show Chuck, but many other things. And let's get into this thing we call Interview Friday, Lunch Therapy. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Blas, thank God you're there. I heard you in your house, like storming around, stomping and complaining. And was that you?
I don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on. You're on lunch therapy. Interview Friday. Right? You're not. But thanks for anticipating, because sometimes you come on and you are muted. Are you not hearing me? Is that what's going on? What's happening over there? I like your hat. Does Blas even know he's on the screen? I don't even know what's happening. What's happening with you, Blas? This is crazy. I'm going to go to another roving reporter because I'm confused as to my co-host. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, dear. Happy day off day. I like it.
Boy, hummingbirds. Ganelle here, reporting live from Belize.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Doesn't
We can
suck.
take a vacation. Don't do something.
Man. I don't know.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
You know, that's the first time I think they've seen Guignel on the show.
Who?
Guignel. You know, the longtime viewer Guignel.
Yeah.
Blas, are you sane, or what's going on with you, man?
I have 3 different units happening here, and they were battling over.
You have 3 different units. Wow, that's quite something. You could probably get a job in a, pornographic film with 3 different units, right?
I probably can, because down the street they're shooting porn down the street from my house.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, they're starting. I'm like, look, they're not bothering anybody. They stay in the house. It's not like they're out in the front of the house. You know what I mean?
No.
Nobody's. But leave them alone. They're going to create havoc. Leave them alone. Let them do their business.
Belize is looking.
So when I go
Belize is looking gorgeous, don't you think? I mean,
oh my gosh,
feeling a little jealous about that.
Yeah, it's paradise over there. I mean, think about it. Look at what they just showed us. They're probably barefoot Friday, and it's it's not Tuesday, and they're probably barefoot.
Where do you think Belize is? Do you know where it is?
I believe that Belize is near Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a little bit south of Brooklyn.
A little bit south of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Is it near Tampa Bay?
Somewhere. Well, that's closer, I guess. Somewhat closer.
South.
Anyway, we'll have to get a map. Someday we'll have to get a map.
St. Thomas. It's an island in the Caribbean.
Well, there was a hurricane in Belize recently. We'll have to ask them, if there's any residual flooding or anything. Category 1 hurricane.
That was just 8 days ago? Like a little more than a week ago, right?
It was recent, but then they just went down there anyway. So it's cool. Okay,
Kamala,
today...
I can't even pronounce the word. Tell Kamala first. I can't pronounce the word, don't know how to spell it, so I can't be something I don't know.
I shouldn't have sprung that on you. The official language of Belize is English, not Spanish. Interesting. See, a lot of times we get fact-checking on this show. So let's breathe, because we got to get to Scott Krinsky. Scott Krinsky is here. He's in the green room with Boney. He's, toking it up with him. I don't know. They're doing
They're toking it up.
They're toking it up, I think. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Okay, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go.
Give me a little more background music. Can I get a little bit of background music? Turn that up.
In through the nose, out through the toes. Guess the colonizer. Would that be Jeff Lohman? Let it go.
Oh, I need that.
That feels good. I'm feeling better already. I see that Tina Adams is here, all the way from Edmonds, Washington. In through the nose, out through the toes. Good to see you, Tina. I always think of Tina being in her car, because her picture is in her car. Let it go. The Brits colonized Belize, apparently. Hello, Abstract Thoughts is here today. Wow. We're going to have some therapy, and I think Abstract Thoughts might be very useful in that. I love the avatar. Hoy. Kamala, you have to say hoy, not hi.
Yeah, I'm off my blocker, and I'm provincial. What's the word? How do you pronounce that word?
Provincial.
Don't be provincial.
Provincial. It's like when all you think about is you're just neighborhood. You don't think about the rest of the world. That's you, boss, right?
That's what I was talking about. Talking about my neighborhood. So I was like,
yeah. In through the nose. That's why you were being provincial. In through the nose, out through the toes. One more. Hold it. Let it go. Okay, I'm going to show you something as we're breathing out here. This is Jeremy Natar. Remember Jeremy Natar? We had him on the show last Tuesday, and he was playing hand pans, and they were in a circle. That was super cool, right?
Yeah, he had that guy with him. I forgot his name.
Oh, gosh. You know what? I know his name, and I have blown it again. Anyway, that guy was great, too.
Can I get something off my chest real quick, just to share?
Yeah.
So, I had a long night last night, and I wake up at 8:30, thinking, let me just get another hour's sleep before we start prepping for the show, right? And then I wake up a little bit later. I wake up 20 to 11, 10:30, right? And I'm lying there, and I'm like, man, I gotta get up. And I get up, and I start moving around. I go to the computer and just kind of try to catch up with you quick. Yeah. And then my son walks into the living room.
Yeah.
Towards the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and I see his reflection first, and I go, hey, somebody's in the house. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, you got 30 seconds to wrap this story up. You have 30 seconds.
And he walks in the kitchen, and I go, what are you doing? He goes, what? I go, why aren't you at school? And he goes,
oh.
And I'm going, what? Now I start to get a little bit hot. I go, what's happening right now? What are you doing?
You got 10 seconds now. You got 10 seconds for this story to get to the punchline.
I'm with my son every single day. Doesn't mention his Veterans Day, a holiday.
It's a holiday.
My wife
Today's a
was
holiday?
Nobody mentioned. And then I go over there and I tell him. I go in the room and just before the show starts, I told you I walked over there to say something. I thought about what you were supposed to say to me. He goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't tell you it was a holiday." I go, "Fine." I start walking away and I see feet in the bedroom, in the master bedroom, and it's Celia sitting there in her pajama and her robes. So my wife's home too.
All right. So it's a holiday. What you're trying to say? It's a holiday you didn't know. Is it?
Nobody told me.
What's the holiday?
My teacher.
What is the
It's
holiday?
Veterans Day.
Oh my God.
Veterans. And
How insensitive am I? I didn't think it would happen on a Friday. It's weird.
Yeah, on a Monday.
God.
So I just need to get off of my chest.
Anyway, we want to send out thanks to all the veterans. I hope you're telling me the truth. Just Jay ordered a hand pan.
I love her.
Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that. How awesome are you?
Thank you,
I've got to say this. I got to say this right now. Jeremy Nata, last time, was playing the handpan and also wrote the music with Laurent Sereau. Laurent Sereau. There we go. I said it. Last time I totally blew it. I didn't know. I just looked it up. I'm glad I got that done. Anyway, Greg Wordla says... Greg Wordla says Veterans Day is always November 11th. So go ahead with your apology.
Okay, so it's always November 11th, but I don't think the school district is always celebrated on it. If it was a Wednesday, I didn't. You know what I mean? The holidays are usually scheduled for a Monday, not a Friday.
There's Jeff Lohman. Jeff Lohman was in the military. He was an MP stationed in Germany. I don't think that makes him a veteran, though. I've got to say. I think it makes him a former member of the military. Maybe he can make a case for it. The 11th day, this is the 11/11, which I just want to say is very serendipitous, I guess. Anyway, let's get on with this because we got Scott. He's, in the green room. I don't know how long he's going to last there with Boney, but this is what I was going to play for you. Jeremy Nata. So incredible, isn't it? Jeff says he's a veteran. Okay. I'm not going to argue. With that. Isn't this beautiful? It's gorgeous, right? It's a special keyboard. It's electronic. And it, when he pushes his hands forward, it gets louder, I think. It's like an entire orchestra in a keyboard.
The layout is exactly like a piano. But it's electric. And if the volume goes up or the pitch goes up as you go higher, that's very creative.
I like.
I'm gonna get one of those for my son.
Yeah, I like the way the hands are like floating. They're just floating.
They're barely touching anything.
All right, we're getting on with the show. This is Jeremy Nata. You can go to his YouTube channel, see more incredible stuff like this, the handpan, all that stuff. Can't wait till Just Jay gets the handpan and shows us how she plays it. That's going to be incredible. Speaking of hands, I watched a YouTube video recently. You're going to appreciate this, Bloss. He said, the more you use your hands, the more subscribers you'll get. I don't know why. And the more audience retention you get, the more you use your hands. Do you believe that?
Who said this? Jeremy said that?
No, somebody on YouTube said that. They'll make a video about anything on YouTube. All right, here we go. Here we go. Humans being. Okay, now is the time for the interview. Get ready. We got Scott Krinsky. You've seen him before. You saw him on the show Chuck. He was a regular character on the show Chuck, which was a really interesting show that we'll have to talk about because it's sort of, I don't know, sort of a hybrid, I guess. Yeah, and also you've seen him in the movie Tangerine, which I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's an indie movie that supposedly they shot on iPhones, but it's a really well done thing. And he has been in a million things, and you'll see his face, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I know him. And then also he does stand-up comedy, which we love on this show. And I really was introduced to him, I guess, as a person, not as an actor, when he was teaching something there's a thing called the Screen Actors Guild Foundation. And if you're in the Screen Actors Guild, which means that you're in the union as a screen actor, you can take these courses to help you with your career. And he had a lot of really useful, interesting things to say about that. So hopefully we can squeeze some of that out of him too. But we got him here. We're going to do some therapy. We're very fortunate. Let's see just what the chat room says. Lovely intro, Joel. Thank you. Agreed. Hansel. I'm sure that has something to do with another comment that I missed. Kamala says she was lucky enough to be in the SAG Foundation seminar on career focus for actors, right, with him. And Gallagher died. Let's take a moment of silence. Loved Gallagher. Who knows? Maybe Scott knew Gallagher. We'll find out. Anyway, it's Interview Friday. Let's get in there. Let's have fun. Let's make sure that we have fun and keep your hands inside the ride at all times.
Jeff, I wasn't really scared that the band was gonna break up. The truth is, I was just scared.
You ever had a dream that's never come true? I'm asking you to sing, not for yourself. Do it for me.
Scott Krinsky. All right. It's so great to have you on the show.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. So, okay. So the first time I heard you, you were like, so you had such wise words for actors, because right now, I mean, I don't know. I think the whole landscape of being an actor has changed a lot. And, we have to use all kinds of different tools and be kind of a jack of all trades. So it was super, I just want to say thank you I was overhearing, basically Kamala was taking the seminar and I was overhearing what you were saying, and it was really inspirational. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And thanks for giving. So can you tell us, we're going to get to that in a minute, but I want to just get some of your background here. Beautiful paintings behind you. Yeah, I was saying that too. Bring back Chuck. People want to bring that show back. They always want to bring the shows back. Hopefully, I'm sure there'll be like a movie, or there'll be a mini series on Netflix. I'm sure. Do you think that that's actually going to happen, Scott?
I don't know. I don't know. It's funny because I always think I'll hear from a fan who's following Zach or someone before I'll know officially. People tell me they read something. I'm like, oh, no one told me, but
Yeah. They really wouldn't even tell you before you were booked, basically, or before they were going to have you sign some kind of contract or something.
Because, I read, I see on Twitter what people write, and I was like, do you know something I don't? But no, there's nothing that I know of right now. I could imagine that, maybe a movie. I don't know about a whole, episodic series again, but I could see the possibility of a movie. But, I think when everything just happens when it's supposed to happen. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
So were you always like the class clown, cut up kind of kid when you were a kid? Because I find some people are, some people aren't. What about you?
No, I was
You were?
always. Now it's weird because like you think of the class clown as like this really loud, you know, kind of person, and I don't think of myself. I'm like very dry and down to earth.
Yeah.
But I guess like there was a part of me that craved attention enough that I was kind of a troublemaker, you know, in school, like even in elementary school. I had, there was a point where I had to get a note with the teacher every day about my behavior.
Yeah.
But I was fun, I wasn't mean. I wasn't bad, like a bad seed. I like to have fun.
Did you start acting or doing comedy first?
I started acting first. I was here. I came out to LA and I was training and doing a lot of theater, a lot of plays here at the smaller theaters here in LA. And it was only after many years that I sort of had this dream of doing stand up, and I had done improv too. And I was at a point where I was just, I just want to do something where I can just be alone and focus on me, I don't have to rehearse with anyone. So that's where stand up came from. So yeah, it wasn't the thing I came out here or dreamed of doing, but I kind of fell into it, and yeah.
So you grew up in Maryland, is that right? Like outside of
DC area.
DC area. And did you ever want to go into politics?
I was a communications journalism major. So that was probably the closest, because I'm a big news, I'm a news junkie, or I think news. I really was at the time. And I worked, I interned and I worked at CNN back in the early 90s, and during the late 80s while I was going to college. I was an intern and then worked there after for a little bit.
Wow. So do you think when you were like a troubled kid, or what you were causing trouble in school, were you bored, do you think? Or did you find a lot of times those kind of kids gravitate towards the theater because is it like an outlet for them? Did you find anything that was like an outlet for you?
No, I was very, believe it or not, I was pretty shy too.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a big theater community in my high school. I guess they did plays, but it wasn't on my radar really. I think I was too nervous and too shy, which is crazy because here I am being an actor and have done stand up. But I do remember watching TV, and there were certain actors that I gravitated towards, comedic actors, and I did know deep down that I wanted to do that, but there was no way I could do that in high school. I was too nervous.
Who were the actors that you gravitated towards at the time?
All these kooks, like like Don Knotts. I love Don Knotts. Like Three's Company. I loved all those guys, like Norman Fell, Don Knotts, John Ritter. I thought a brilliant actor we lost way too early.
He was so physically great too. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Newhart. I love Bob Newhart. Really dry, comedian and actor as well.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Gene Wilder, he was something else. That's cool. So when you set out for Los Angeles, did it seem kind of out of the blue, or had you been progressing towards doing that? What were your parents? What did they say? Did they tell you, like, what are you doing? You got to get a real job, anything like that?
Well, yeah, they thought I was moving out here for a real job. So, because I did work for CNN briefly when I first moved out here.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was moving out here to pursue a career in acting. And also I hated winters back then. I appreciate winters now after living in California and these heat waves. But I also just wanted to go somewhere. I love the beach and
do you surf?
The ocean. Not good, but yes.
Wow. And do you live near the beach, or do you like drive out there and surf and park on the side of
No,
the
I
road?
drive out there. I'm not
Yeah.
far, like I'm in, around Hollywood area, but
Yeah.
I do drive out there.
I'm terrible with the cold water, like just the jumping in the water part.
Gotta wear a
But I'm
wetsuit.
kind of a wimp. Yeah, maybe that would help.
In the winter. People just do ocean swims, in a
Yeah.
wetsuit. It's amazing.
So how did you get yourself? Well, you obviously started getting work. Was there a turning point for you when you started working as an actor? And is there any kind of mindset change that happened when you started like getting roles? Because a lot of times, you said you were very somewhat introverted, so it doesn't make you like a super salesman, I don't think. What was it that got that rolling for you?
Well, I mean, I think, I linked up with some good agents finally at the time that really got me and kind of understood how to sell me. And I think my confidence got better. And I think it's just a matter of sticking around. When I was out here in my 20s, I didn't really work a lot. And everybody ever worked, every teacher I ever studied with, they always said, you'll work in your 30s, you're a character guy.
Yeah.
And they were right, So, and I just believe, even though I get, frustrated and this business is, can be very frustrating at times, but I do like, have a sense of belief in myself. And I think that's really important to have, like, that sort of belief in yourself is really,
Do you ever,
really important.
do you actively do things to maintain a belief in yourself in the dark times?
Yeah, I still take a class, and I try to do, like, I did a play with the Hollywood Fringe earlier in the last summer. So,
You did.
Just trying to stay active. You do
Yeah.
always be doing something creative.
Do you think having a particular focus on what kind of shows you want to be on and that kind of thing, do you think that helps, or what helps an actor get more traction?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of things. I think it's just persistence and being ready. Being ready for when those opportunities come up. That you can deliver, I guess. And even just doing all these things, it's still such an unpredictable business. But I think if you believe in yourself and you're willing to, stick around, things happen.
You have a particular kind of persona that you play on screen, it seems. Like a lot of times you play... sometimes you play kind of despicable people. Other times you'll play like somebody who's, now how do I say it? Doesn't have a home. I think somebody said you couldn't say homeless now.
You can, I think.
Yeah. But you often play homeless people. You often play kind of lecherous people. How did you find this niche? Yeah. Were you kind of repulsed by that in the beginning, or did you see yourself like that, or how did that happen that you found this niche?
Yeah, I guess it found me. No, I mean, I think you just, it finds you a little bit too. It's funny because I play like these like unkempt, disheveled people sometimes, and it's really not like me in real life. But I guess I have that look, and but I always say, like, when I was starting out, and like before I did Chuck, I worked on the OC, and I played this homeless guy, and he ended up doing a recurring, and then the same producer, Josh Schwartz, created Chuck, and so I feel like, okay, well, I cleaned up, they cleaned me up. Yeah. I graduated to, a guy with a job. And so I feel like next level is I'm going to play, someone really white collar next. I'm going to keep cleaning up as I age.
You were just in
playing smarter characters.
Yeah. You were just in something called Smothered, which we had both those guys on the show. I want to show a clip from that because it's a little different character. Let's do that.
Oh, for fuck's sake, what haven't we tried?
We role played.
We wrestled in Jell-O.
That wasn't therapy.
I know.
How about this? Tell each other one thing that you love about the other, so you can have closure.
Oh. Well, we never did that before.
No, because it's stupid.
I like the look that you give at the end of that one. Yeah, so do you play psychiatrists and things like that very often? That kind of thing? Therapists?
No, I don't. So that was fun when they asked me to do that because, you have to take advantage of opportunities where you can sort of play characters that people don't always think of you as, or you don't always get cast as.
Yeah, and that was we've had both those guys on the show, and Jason Stewart, Mitch Hara. They kind of created that show themselves, I believe. Did you know those guys before the show? Because they seem to have handpicked really good actors, and it seems like they might know them or something. Is that?
Yeah, I knew Jason through stand-up, and we did Tangerine together.
Oh, he was in Tangerine as well.
Jason was in Tangerine as well. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He had a part, at the scene at Hamburger Mary's.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I want to play that clip because that's another character. Interesting, to say the least. Let's play that little clip here.
$40
Oh, come on.
Are you
Come on. My
serious?
family's driving me fucking crazy. I just gotta get off.
That's not any of my concern.
Okay, listen. I can do all the work and jerk myself off. Maybe you can just grab my balls or something. Please, I'll be super fast. I just need... Come on, it's Christmas.
Give me my shit.
Fuck out of my
Give me my
car.
shit. I'm not playing with you. Give me my... Okay, you know what?
Give me my fucking keys. No, you don't even know her. Get out of my car. She just attacked me.
So a random woman just grabs you and starts attacking you.
Partnership.
What was that? Okay, let me get the applause. What was that like working on that film? Because that film, did they shoot them on iPhone? Shoot that movie on iPhones? That's the way the legend goes.
Yeah, it was iPhone 5s, and I think it's the first feature film that was released in theaters that was shot on iPhones.
And what was that? Did they have a bunch of rigs for the iPhones, or you know what I mean? Like people just picture a person with an iPhone just making a movie, but obviously you have to do audio properly. You have to, also offloading all the material would be difficult. What was it? What was it like?
They had two or three phones. The director and the DP were both using each a phone, and they were constantly downloading the video. So yeah, these are iPhone 5. So if you think about it, it was 2015, and the thing about what they did at the time is they had Sean, the brilliant director, Sean Baker, got access to some accessories at the time that are probably, they're so dated now. There's way better accessories, but things for like Steadicam and the lens that you could add to the phone. Yeah,
that's incredible. Okay, I wanted to ask you also about Chuck. Like so the same people hired you for Orange County or the OC, where you played a homeless guy, and then they hired you again for Chuck. So, what was that like? You did 90 episodes of that show. What was that like being?
Yeah, five seasons.
Being on a show for 5 seasons. You were probably recognized everywhere you went. What was that life like?
It was great. As far as it was like kind of it was very climactic at that point in my career for getting on a show and getting on a series, and it really was a fulfillment of my dreams, because and it's weird, just the whole, I always saw myself, working on the show, and And it's just, I think it's just for any actor. I think, it's just, again, if you believe in yourself and you have clear goals, and you do the work, I think
It can happen.
good things can happen.
What was the
But it
audition
great,
process
having
like for
five-
that? Yeah.
So I didn't really audition for that because I
wow.
did sort of, but Josh, who created the OC, was a co-creator on Chuck. So when the OC got canceled in, I think, in the fall of that year, it was like season 5 of the OC, he was going on to do Chuck, and I guess he just thought I'd be perfect for the role. So he offered me that role. And I did have to do a small audition on tape in the casting director's office after the offer because the network and studio people just wanted to see me reading a
Was
few of
that
the lines.
stressful? Was that super stressful to do that, or did you just?
Yeah,
I would think it would be.
It was very simple audition, but it was stressful because I'd already been offered the part.
Yeah.
And then, I'm waiting for the deal to go through. And then my agent's like, they just want to see you read a little bit. And so I was like, oh God, I'm going to, hope I don't fuck it all up now.
Yeah.
But
I would think that'd be super stressful.
But the cast director, Patrick Rush, and Todd Sherry, who was working with him at the time, who's also an amazing actor as well. They were like, don't worry, this is just a technicality. We're going to make this look really great. And they really took care of me. And
Kamala's saying, what a fucking nightmare. It is a little bit of a nightmare. We're going to cast you in this part and just going to change your life. Oh, but first you have to read. Just, it's a formality. And you're like, oh my God, what happens?
Yeah,
but I think it's always like that, And okay, so how was that show shot? Because it was, it's sort of like Alias, but sort of like a sitcom at the same time. How did they shoot that?
So it was single camera, and one cool thing about Chuck, it was one of the last shows at the time, and that was shot on film. So it wasn't shot on digital, it's on film, which was kind of cool because I don't think, a lot of the shows, they don't shoot TV on film anymore. Some filmmakers still use film, but so that's kind of neat. But it was, we had 4 sound stages at Warner Brothers. So most of it, a lot of it was on sound stages at Warner Brothers. And then of course we had location shoots for things. But the Buy More, where I had a lot of my scenes, was like when you walked in, the whole sound stage was like walking into Best Buy. It had all the electronics, it had all the everything. It was literally like walking into a Best Buy, but with different colors, green and yellow, were the colors of the Buy More.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird.
That must have been weird. What do you ever get tired of playing the same character for 5 years?
No, I mean, and the character, if I didn't know, I was always so grateful to be working on the show because, rarely is a show going to go on like a Grey's Anatomy or NCIS, shows that are in like 18, 19 seasons. So, and we were so on the edge we were kind of on the bubble every season. So I knew we only had so many years. So I was grateful for every year that we had.
That's so cool. So then does that, when you do a show like that for 5 years, does that then give you a leg up for the next auditions that you do for other things? Do you have to audition less, do you think? Are you, does it change your life I'm sure it changes you because it gives you a good financial base, but does it change your auditioning life?
Yes and no. I mean, the thing is, you go audition for better things, but you're also auditioning against, different, better people. Really, you're not better people, but just a higher level of, you're going into auditions. And you're like, oh, that's the guy from that. That's the guy from that. So
you recognize everybody in the waiting room. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have waiting rooms anymore. So it was. I think it was a little intimidating and. Yeah, I think I'm a different person now than I was back then. But I think coming off a show, I got to, you feel like people have expectations of you. So
Yeah.
it was a little weird for a few years.
And where did you learn your comedic technique as far as acting goes?
I think it's just inherent, like I think everyone's funny, and I think it's just a matter of putting it out there, especially if you're doing improv and you're doing stand up. It's just trial by error. You sort of figure out, okay, what is it about me that people respond to?
Yeah.
I mean, you do comedy, right? You get
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
sort of like, okay, this is what this
And
is. what always
sometimes
gets
it's not what you think they're going to respond to. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they respond to something, you're like, you have no idea. And then you have to go back and go like, what? And you don't want to deconstruct it too much because you don't want to lose the magic in it. But you have to go, oh, that's how they see me. It's sort of like the thing about your casting. Like you're like, oh, they see me as a homeless person? Okay, well, I'm going to lean into that. But I didn't see myself as that,
Well, it also becomes a muscle, you start it's like a muscle reaction. I think you learn that way too.
Would you say that sometimes, though, that you would get into a rut with that? Like where you keep playing to the same tools and you want to like maybe kind of break out of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you can, but
I call that the
that's
hoo-ha. The hoo-ha.
Well, like getting typecast or something.
Remember how Al Pacino did that part, Scent of a Woman, where he said hoo-ha, hoo-ha, and then like he kind of did it in a couple other parts, and you just you don't really want to get stuck in that kind of, oh, this is what they love, so I'm going to keep doing this, and eventually people are like, why does he keep going hoo-ha? You know what I mean?
I don't have any hoo-has to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see, I think it's different because when you're doing a movie or a TV show, you got a script to work with. When you're on stage, when you're doing comedy and you're doing improv, then I think you can use some of those crutches in a good way, because hey, we're all like we're here to entertain, especially when you're doing stand up. When you're doing it like improv, your goal is to make people laugh.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's one of your goals.
For.
People make people think, make people laugh.
Yeah, they just don't think as loud as they laugh. That's the problem. If you get an audience really thinking, but it doesn't make it.
Or they don't laugh as loud as they're thinking. Like they'll tell you, I love that bit. I was really,
That's funny. Yeah.
And like, well, right. I didn't hear you. I didn't sound.
But are you a person that laughs really loud in the audience? I'm not, and I wish I was. I mean, I can be loving something and be completely silent.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not a laugh out loud all the time person, and I listened to like Mark Maron talking about, I listened to his podcast, and and he talks about, there are certain comedians where it's not about the laugh every 5 seconds. It's about more of a whole story, and and there's obviously people there's fun there. You want them to laugh at some point, or you're hoping that they'll think what you're talking about is funny. And then there are comedians where they're really good at the zingers and getting that laugh like every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I've realized that I'm kind of more about the story and finding punchlines in the story than just writing jokes. Like I see, I go to the fourth wall or whatever, and I see the other comedians. They have these notes on their phone of all the jokes, and then they try them out. And I just don't tend to think of things in a joke like that, a 2-line joke, like a setup and a punchline. But then I try and find it in the story. Is that your process, or what? Yeah, is that kind of how you do it too?
Yeah, I think so. It's something like that. And also, again, sometimes people laugh at obviously you find that they laugh at the parts that
You didn't think it was a joke.
We're gonna laugh at.
Yeah, you didn't think it was a joke. Steve Martin says that about in his biography, Born Standing Up, where he says that sometimes the joke, the punchline is just him saying "fuck," just saying some one word thing they didn't think was a joke.
Well, then it's also, that's where you see like it's also about delivery,
Yeah. Timing
and delivery. Yeah.
I'm going to spring something on you right now. I've got a contest that we're going to do.
Okay.
Are you up for that? It's a movie quote contest.
All right, I'm be terrible at it, but
they're pretty. Anyway, yeah, everybody's terrible at this.
Okay.
So we're going to compete now against the hummingbirds. Those are the viewers of the show. Let me get the thing going. Yeah. Let me find. I got to find it. This is how this goes. All right, here we go. Contest time. Lost, you're going to be on the screen. I've got Blas here over on the right. Blas, you guys haven't met each other, right?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Blas.
Okay, we're going to be doing a contest. And now what happens is I'm going to show the movie quote, and then you're going to guess the movie. And the hummingbirds, well, they're supposed to be in that chat on the right, but it doesn't seem to be showing up. So I might have to.
Oh, they're going into the fire.
Yeah, they're going into the fire, right? Okay,
going into the fire to bring water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The hummingbirds are doing that.
Too delayed, Joel.
He remembered that. He remembered the thing about the hummingbirds. Yes, they go into the fire. So they're in the fire right now. I don't know what's happening with them. Let me see if I can just maybe get that thing going. No, it's not going to go.
Maybe
I'll put their
they're
chats
afraid
on
to
the
compete
screen.
with me.
That's it. That's what it is. Okay, famous movie quotes. Are we going to have a timer, Blas? What are we doing?
If you'd like, I got to tell you, don't forget we got a delay, so don't give us a.
Yeah, so the hummingbirds have a delay, and for some reason, the thing is not happening. All right,
what we're
let's
gonna do,
get it
Scott,
going.
is you're going to look away from the screen. He's going to put it on the screen.
Okay.
And then say
look away.
Look. We're giving the hummingbirds a second or two to just look in any direction you want, but the screen. Or you can just close your eyes, Scott.
Oh, there we go. Now we got.
When do I look back? When do I look back?
So he's going to tell you, Blas. Are you going to tell him when he looks back?
No, you're going to tell him when to look back.
After I hear the clip.
Okay. I'm going to read the
After I hear
quote.
the clip.
I'm going to read the quote. It's just
Right.
going to be on the screen. I'm going to read it, but I'm going to wait a few seconds. Okay, here we go. Okay, the hummingbirds can see it now, and I'm going to give it a little bit of time. And they said they're ready, but I don't know what's happening with the chat. Anyway, okay, you can look now. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Forrest Gump.
That's a good one. Anybody in the chat room? Let's see. They said they're
Sounds like
ready.
something he would say.
It does sound like something he would say. Oh, good. Somebody chatted. Just Jay said hi.
Joel, or, did you want me to?
So far, we have A Star Is Born, Ready. We have somebody. Oh, at close range. Matt said. It's not showing up on the screen. Blas, you can guess, I guess, right?
I'm going to guess.
Ready Player One. Was that what they were saying?
Ready Player One, yeah. What'd you say, Blas? What's your thing?
The color purple.
Color purple. Neither of you got it. No one in the chat room got it. It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Has anybody ever? We've all seen that movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was a warm up. Next one. I should have told Scott to look away.
I didn't see it.
Okay, good. She's honest. I love it when I have an honest guest, not a cheater. Not a cheater like Blas. Okay, a boy's best friend is his mother. You can look now.
Is it the movie Mask?
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm just
Cher.
It's about a mother and her son. Yeah. Her son.
Yeah, that's good. What's another movie about a mother and her son?
A mother and her son.
I'm allowed to guess, right?
You're allowed to guess. You're on the hummingbird side though. So we have Arthur, Risky Business, Spanking the Monkey, Waterboy. How come I don't have choices? Yeah, we don't have choices this time. Sorry, guys. There's no choices. I tried to get ones that were, these aren't, so far they haven't been obvious, but there will be some obvious ones. All right, no one, somebody guessed it. Matt Wright got it. Psycho. It's Psycho.
I guess Psycho. I just said Psycho.
You just guessed it, or did you read Matt's thing? Either way, Hummingbirds won that one.
Yes, it did. Initially, I thought it was Waterboy. And then when I saw CeeLo say Waterboy, I went, oh, maybe it's not Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy's pretty good. You know, I never saw Waterboy. I don't know how I missed that, but I'm going to have to see that.
The quote is
Adam Sandler.
From Psycho. It's the sheriff says it or something, right? I think one of the cops said about it.
I don't know, but so far, Hummingbirds have won. Hummingbirds won. Scott Krinsky 0.
Did you say you never saw Waterboy?
No, I never saw Waterboy.
Did you say you never saw Waterboy?
Yeah.
Scott, have you seen Waterboy? Adam Sandler's Waterboy?
Yeah, but it's so long ago.
So long ago.
I'd have to watch it again.
Okay, now look away.
All right. I'm looking away.
Sorry, I'm doing terrible at the hosting. I love some of these. Jeff Lohman always guesses Porky's. Okay, here's the thing. The quote is, yeah, the quote is, "You talking to me?"
Can we look? We already said it.
What is it? Yeah.
Kamala got it.
Taxi driver.
Oh, okay. But they got it faster. Hummingbirds, right. Jed Hirsch. Did you say Jed Hirsch? Floss?
Yeah, Jed Hirsch, DeVito, Mary Lou Henner.
Oh, yeah. No, that's Taxi. Okay, so that's Taxi Driver. Hummingbirds got that one too. I mean, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so let's see now. I'm trying to run the scoreboard at the same time. All right, so now look away. Oh, good, he's looking away. Okay, here's the quote. They're seeing it. They're seeing it. They're reacting so far. And open the pod bay doors, please.
2001 Space. 2001.
All right. Yeah. Okay, Scott got that one.
All right, I got on the board.
Yeah, nice. You're on the board.
I feel like it's the first time I've ever heard the word fly.
Okay, now turn away. Here's Johnny. I said it.
Shining.
Shining. I'm going to give that to Scott. I didn't do the timer long enough. It's tied up 2-2. All right, we're looking good here.
All right.
Turn away. I'm going to time it. Oh, this is a good one. Let's see if people can get this one. I see that Chuck Goldsmith and Tina Adams got The Shining on the previous one. Let's see if they can get this. Okay, it's your turn. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley.
Oh, airplane.
All right, no, you got it. You got it. Airplane.
Was it airplane?
Yeah, airplane.
Oh my God, it was.
Matt Wright got it too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to
Lloyd.
No, that was Leslie Nielsen. Right?
And Leslie, but it's Lloyd Bridges calls him Shirley, and Leslie Nielsen says, "You're right, but you call me Shirley."
What is the guy who starred in Airplane? What is his name again? We were trying to think of that the other day. No, the guy who plays the pilot or who lands the plane.
Oh,
he's like the lead, right?
Oh,
love that guy.
Hey, Robert Hayes.
Robert Hayes. Wow, that was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should get a point for that. Okay, look away. Look away. Here we go. Okay, this is a good one. I'm going to let the hummingbirds. Okay, you see it? Is it safe?
Yeah.
It's a classic film.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. Oh, yeah, you got it, I think. Do you know what it is? Did you say what it was?
Rain Man.
Blas.
Marathon Man.
Marathon Man.
I don't know.
That was close. Marathon
Man.
Man. That was Laurence Olivier. Laurence Olivier was the dentist, and he was like torturing him with dental equipment, and he kept saying, "Is it safe? Is it safe?" So I got to give that point to the hummingbirds because Blas got it. So we're looking at 3-3. It's 3-3. Wow.
Hey, I thought Scott and I were a team. I thought we were going against the hummingbirds.
I told Scott that I would end the show by 1, so I gotta get him off the screen. Okay, this is one. Everybody, I didn't.
Oh, you got 30 seconds, Joel. You got 30 seconds.
Oh, network.
Network.
Oh, nice,
fair.
nice, Scott.
Matt Wright says,
Scott,
I highly recommend mining at close range for movie quotes. You know, we had the director of At Close Range on the show, Jamie Foley. I think if Matt hasn't seen that, he should definitely see that. But there must be some good quotes in that. Okay, so we're getting down to the wire here. I don't know how many more there are, but that one goes to Scott. I will be, let's see. So we got hummingbirds.
I mean, 1 o'clock and it makes him up by 1.
Okay.
Sounds like
All right. Just a couple more here. Okay. Don't look.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good. All right. Let's see if anybody can.
Can I look?
Okay, yeah, look now. You're just going to have to trust me about this one thing. You need a lot of drinks to break the ice, to kill the bug that you have up your ass. Let's see if anybody can get this. Scott may want to see the dance break. Yeah, he might. We'll see. So let's see. Anybody getting this one? No one's going to get this one. Chuck Goldsmith says The Hangover.
I feel like it's from a comedy.
It's from, yeah, it's interesting because it's not really. But there's comedic moments.
Glenn Ross.
Glenn Ross. Oh, that's another Jamie Foley movie. We're going to have to get him back on the show, I think.
Michael Mann? I thought that was Michael Mann.
I'm going to say,
This is one of your favorite movies. That's my clue. It's one of your favorite movies from a while ago. And it's on your website as one of your favorite movies.
Wow, that's some clue.
No.
You killed the bug that you have
up your ass. The same actor says, feet controlling the universe when he is driving his Corvette on the beach with his feet.
Top Gun. I don't know.
That was good. That was pretty good. Here it is. You're going to kick yourself. Terms of Endearment.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson. To kill the... Oh, Chuck Goldsmith was the closest with A Few Good Men. All right, I think we have one more. One more, and it's either...
Shirley MacLaine.
Either the Hummingbirds tie or Scott wins. Look away. I wonder if... I hope it's a good one. Oh, this one's... Oh, God. Okay. You know, I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I can help you with that hump.
The Elephant Man.
What?
Elephant Man.
Oh, that's a great guess, but it's not it. It's a really good guess. I love that. What?
That would be probably the
Better than
funniest
the
line
Elephant
in
Man.
the whole-
Yeah, it'd be the funniest mind. Oh, Chuck Goldsmith got it. Yes,
Oh, did
Young
he get it?
Frankenstein.
Oh, yes, yes.
Igor.
And then he goes, what hump?
What hump?
What hump?
Yeah. Oh, God, I used to love him. Marty Feldman. He was fantastic. Okay, so it looks like the Hummingbirds won, which actually they almost always win, unfortunately. Oh, no, it was tied. It tied up. That's great. Nobody won. Nobody won. That was great. Thanks, Scott, for doing this. We're going to do this thing called the dance break at the very end. I don't know if you have like a few minutes to listen to a beautiful song. You do? Okay, good.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Let's just see. The Man with Two Brains was another person's guess.
Scott, you can dance if you want to.
So we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance this song. It's a beautiful song by a man named Seal. I don't know if you're familiar with Seal, but this is a cover of the Seal song, "Kiss from a Rose." Here we go. So this guy's called Dan Vask. He has a YouTube channel, and he's also singing with Violet or Landy? I'm gonna dance over here. Dance them if you got them. But this is a song we mentioned last Friday.
The dark side of me. Love remained a drug that's the high.
I like the swing.
But did you know that when it's
hard to dance well
my eyes
in a box.
become large and the light that you shine can be seen.
Dance like that was fun.
There is so much this man can tell you, so much he can say. But you remained my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a growing addiction that I can't deny. Don't you tell me it's a healthy pain. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody. It's super fun. Thanks Scott for being on the show. We'll see you all next week for more lunch therapy. He does get the good sport. Line up finishing.